Tonight's headlines: Trump vows court action in knife-edge election. Philippines will insist sovereignty amid U.S. election results. The Department of Agriculture extends off assistance to Raleigh-hit farmers. Coronavirus cases in the country now at 388,137. DOH hopeful on nationwide MGCQ. Siony now a severe tropical storm. Philippine shares rally as market awaits poll outcome. And Peso closes sideways. Good evening. Today is Wednesday, November 4, 2020. I am Elmer Navarro Manuel and this is Tribune News on Q. Here are the stories for this evening. The United States election was plunged into chaos early Wednesday as President Donald Trump prematurely declared victory and sought Supreme Court intervention to stop vote counting, even as his Democratic rival Joe Biden voiced confidence in his own chances. In a divisive election cast under the shadow of the coronavirus pandemic that has claimed more than 230,000 lives in the United States, Trump appeared to have avoided a Democratic wave predicted by some polls, but he still needs key states to secure another four-year term. Shattering norms in the world's most powerful democracy, Trump alleged major fraud as he held an upbeat rally inside the White House's ceremonial East Room and added that he would go to the Supreme Court because they all want to stop voting. Voting had already ended by the time Trump took the podium after 2 a.m., but Trump appeared to be calling for the court to stop counting. Trump has railed for months against mail-in ballots, charging without evidence that they could be fraudulent, as some 100 million Americans voted ahead of Election Day amid the health crisis. The Biden campaign soon hit back, calling the president's bid to stop vote counting outrageous and unprecedented, and saying its legal teams were ready to fight him in the courts if need be. Manila's ambassador to Washington on Wednesday said that the Philippines will maintain its stand that it is a sovereign nation and must be respected by the United States no matter the winner of the presidential elections. In a statement, Philippine ambassador to the United States, Jose Manuel Romualdez, said that should Democrat Joe Biden win the presidency and his party brings out human rights issues, the Philippines will remain firm on its stand that supposed extrajudicial killings were not state-sanctioned and are perpetrated by police officers who are involved with drugs. He added that it's possible that a Biden presidency will keep an eye on different issues, such as the cases of Rappler CEO Maria Ressa and detained Senator Leila de Lima, but the Philippines will also be consistent in saying that they have to wait and see the way the courts will conduct all these trials. To recall, President Rodrigo Duterte and former President Barack Obama had frayed ties when the U.S. leader criticized his Philippine counterpart's human rights record in light of the war on drugs. But relations between Duterte and President Donald Trump, a Republican who succeeded Obama, were warmer as the current administration was seen as less critical of the Philippine leader's anti-narcotics campaign. The Department of Agriculture on Wednesday said it has extended 680 million pesos worth of initial assistance to farmers affected by the onslaught of Super Typhoon Rolly in the Bicol region. The bulk, or 592,432,000 of the said amount, are allotted through the Philippine Crop Insurance Corporation as indemnification fund for 32,761 Bicol farmers whose insured crops were damaged by the disaster. The PCIC insured farmers and fishers in Bicol region will receive insurance claims ranging from 10,000 pesos to 15,000 pesos for their crops, farm equipment, fishing boats, and gear damaged by Rolly. Meanwhile, 90 million pesos worth of other assistance, including seeds of hybrid rice, corn, and assorted vegetables, urea fertilizer, farm implements, and fishing gears and paraphernalia were distributed to affected farmers and fishers in Albay, one of the provinces in Bicol. Agriculture Secretary William Dar said that affected farmers and fishers can also avail of an emergency and rehabilitation loan worth 25,000 pesos from the DA's Agricultural Credit and Policy Council under its Survival and Recovery Loan Program. The DA-ACPC has allotted an initial 100 million pesos for Bicol under its Survival and Recovery Loan Program. The loan is non-collateral, has zero interest, and is payable in 10 years. 3B News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako!
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Hello, can I get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung sofa, tapos slide, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget ang...
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Wait lang, okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM store, ma'am.
Call to deliver. Call.
Kuya, pwede rin ba ako magpa-deliver sa ate ko sa Taguig, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa... cancel ko sa Lipa? Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami mag-deliver.
Call to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Call na rin kayo.
Call to deliver.
This is a very important story. The important story.
Pictures and stories.
Today, we feel the weight of history on our shoulders. The way we have been moving leads nowhere. We need to change course.
Since the United Nations was founded, the human race has never had to face a set of challenges like we do right now. But together, we can overcome them.
The Department of Health reported 987 confirmed coronavirus disease cases on Wednesday to bring the total number of infections in the country to 388,137. The 5 areas with the highest number of new infections were Davao City with 136, Iloilo Province with 67, Quezon City with 47, Taguig City with 43, and Iloilo City with 41. The number of recoveries, on the other hand, rose to 349,091 after 140 patients recovered from the respiratory disease, while the death toll is now at 7,367 following 49 fatalities recorded. The remaining 31,679 are active cases undergoing treatment or quarantine, 82.6% of which are mild, 10.1% are asymptomatic, 2.6% are severe, and 4.7% are in critical condition. The OCTA research group, meanwhile, said the COVID-19 positivity rate in Metro Manila is declining steadily as the country's daily coronavirus cases also continue to decrease. It is said in a report that the ratio of people testing positive for COVID-19 in Metro Manila is trending in the right direction at 6% and is close to the World Health Organization's recommended target of 5% to effectively curb the virus spread. In other news, the Health Department is hopeful the Philippines would be able to transition to modified general community quarantine, the lowest restriction level, by the first quarter of 2021 as the country's daily coronavirus infections continue to decline in the past weeks. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeres said that all local government units can only enjoy relaxed quarantine protocols if they have an efficient surveillance and contact tracing system. She added that the public must also continue to observe minimum health standards, which is central in reducing the spread of the virus. The Philippines employs a 4-level community quarantine scheme ranging from the strictest enhanced community quarantine to the most relaxed MGCQ. The quarantine level dictates the type of business activities allowed in a certain area as well as travel restrictions. Under MGCQ, Filipinos can go to more establishments and activities as public gatherings are allowed, provided the participants shall be limited to 50% of the venue or seating capacity. These include movie screenings, concerts, sporting events, and church or religious gatherings. Everyone will also be allowed to go outside. State Weather Bureau Pagasa on Wednesday said that Tropical Storm Siony has intensified into a severe tropical storm while moving slowly over the Philippine Sea east of extreme northern Luzon. In its 5 p.m. severe weather bulletin, the Weather Bureau said Siony was placed under severe tropical storm category at 2 p.m. and it is forecasted to intensify into a typhoon prior to its landfall or close approach over extreme northern Luzon and may reach its peak intensity of 125 kilometers per hour. Pagasa said the center of Siony was located 735 kilometers east of Basco, Batanes at 4 p.m. with maximum sustained winds of 95 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 115 kilometers per hour. It is moving northward slowly. Pagasa said tropical cyclone wind signal number 1 is still in effect over the northeastern portion of mainland Cagayan and the eastern portion of Babuyan Islands. The weather agency added that Siony is forecasted to move slowly or remain almost stationary in the next 6 to 12 hours. Afterwards, it will move generally westward or west-northwestward towards the Luzon Strait and extreme northern Luzon. Sunrise is at 5:52 a.m. and sunset will be at 5:26 p.m. We'll pause for a short break. Stay with us.
Bilang bagong mag-asawa, sabay kami natututo sa buhay.
Sabay rin namin inaaral ng mga bayarin sa bahay.
Kahit kami, nagtaka sa biglang laki ng electricity bill namin. Huwag pong mangambang maputulan. Sinisigurado ng Meralco na walang disconnection hanggang September.
Estimated bills lang ang natanggap natin ng March, April at para sa ilan, May. Dahil sa lockdown, isang tabi to para hindi na maguluhan.
Ang May o June ay actual meter reading na. Kung May nagka-actual reading, ibabawas dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran hanggang 3 buwang konsumo.
Kung estimated reading sa May at June nagka-actual reading, ibabawas din dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran. Hanggang 4 na buwang konsumo, walang labis. Tandaan, kung ano lang na konsumo,
Yun lang ang babayaran.
ako po si Mateo G.
At ako naman po si Sarah G.
G?
G!
In business, Philippine share prices rallied on Wednesday amid high hopes on the outcome of the U.S. elections. The bellwether PSEI gained 128.49 points or 2.03% to 6,464.05 at the closing bell. The broader all shares increased by 59.14 points or 1.56% to 3,848.61. Regina Capital Head of Sales Luis Limlingan said that Philippine shares jumped as investors hoped a clear winner would emerge from the U.S. presidential election and a delayed or contested result would be avoided. Unicapital Securities equity analyst Christopher San Pedro meantime said that the index closed at 1,464.05 due to the volatility in the global markets as the world awaits the outcome of the U.S. elections. The world awaits the outcome of the elections, with both incumbent President Donald Trump and Democrat Joe Biden predicting a victory. Trump said he would go to the Supreme Court to dispute the counting of votes despite the final not being given yet. More than 2.344 billion shares valued at 7.245 billion pesos change hands. Advancers led decliners 135 to 73, and 46 issues were unchanged. And the Philippine peso closed nearly unchanged against the dollar on Wednesday as the market continued to await results of the United States elections, with results still too close to call for a definitive victor. The local currency gained a centavo to close at 48 pesos and 40 centavos to a dollar versus Tuesday's finish of 48 pesos and 41 centavos to a dollar. Wednesday's performance came as the world markets awaited results of the U.S. election, with both incumbent President Donald Trump and Democrat Joe Biden predicting a victory. A foreign exchange trader said that the market was mixed as with most regional peers ahead of the final results of the latest U.S. polls, which was regarded as a nail-biting race. Axie strategist Stephen Ines, on the other hand, said that Biden is still favored to win the presidency, but they now could be heading towards a delayed confirmation of the winner of the election, which is probably the worst-case scenario for risk. The report noted that nearly 100 voters had already cast their ballots, but many of those will not be counted until polls close, with Americans voting for weeks now. That wraps up the stories tonight. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune Digital Edition and Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store or Google Play to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just visit the sticker store on Viber and search for Katribu. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store for my shirts and jacket this evening. Again, this is Elmer Navarro Manuel, and you're watching Tribune News on Cue. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good night, and God bless us all.
City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
Ang Philippine Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o POGO ay isang legitimate business entity na nagbibigay serbisyo sa offshore gaming para lamang sa mga manlalarong nasa abroad sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang mga serbisyong handog nito ay katulad ng casino games at sports betting na pwedeng laruin kahit wala sa casino. Sa Pilipinas, walang POGO operators. Tanging POGO service providers lamang dahil nagaganap ang mga laro sa labas ng bansa.
Click, that's it. Never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap, it's a wrap. Just tap the app. Now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the ring apps are the in thing. You know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Self-service and easy to use. Mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now.
Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Bakit kailangan ko pang pumunta sa bangko?
Oo nga naman, sir. Ba't kailangan pang pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.